Here come the mansions of the moon that bring you opportunities to advance your career, your wealth, or your social status. With such chances, there also comes the need to take the bull by the horns, using your willpower to make sure that you are in a good position and condition to be on the winning side of any negotiation or situation. If you're feeling feisty, you can move forward. On the other hand, if your circumstances and instincts tell you to wait, then use any new prospects which present themselves to you to sturdy, reinforce, and protect yourself, your family, your properties, homes, businesses, and perhaps, most importantly, your own fitness and your own wellness. A fit body and a good attitude create a psychologically and emotionally healthy person that is capable of taking advantage of any marvelous options that you encounter. With Luna waning this week, you can use the receptive energies of the moon to pull towards you that which you desire. Just make sure that you are a bird instead of a caterpillar when you perform rituals or visualizations to attract what you will, and realize that if you are the bird in the equation, the caterpillar just might be the bait that someone is using to capture you. So, if you're not a big creature, you'd better be a smart one. And now here are your weekly mansions of the moon signs horoscope from the 10th to the 16th of October 2022. Mansions of the moon signs: waning gibbous moon from October 10 to 16. Transits through Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. We're using tropical astrology and universal time coordinated. Use receptive imaginings, pictures, films, advertising, or magic during a waning gibbous moon. Now here are your daily Lunar Mansion Magic Angels and Lords astrology guidance for the week of October 10th to October 16th. So beginning with October 10th, we have Aries waning gibbous moon to Taurus moon in Lunar Mansion number 3 at 13:17 hours. It's profitable for enchanters, chemists, pharmacists, sailors, and sportsmen, hunters, trappers, and poachers. Use depictions or symbols of a richly dressed lady reclining in a valuable chair, resting her arm casually above her head. Okay, casually above her head. For this representation causes anyone viewing it to become joyful, wealthy, and acquiring all that one desires. From the rainy ones, or those that reign, or the Pleiades and the constellation of Taurus the Bull with lunar angel Amixiel and Lord Annuncia. It's Amixiel. 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 Okay. Now, an example of this would be the Addams Family movie, 1991, that version of the Addams Family, the dark comedy fantasy film written by Charles Addams and Carolyn Thompson and Larry Wilson, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. Now, Charles Addams is renowned for being the original creator of the characters in the Addams Family beginning in 1938. With comics, then moving to television shows and on to movies. In this spectacular 1991 movie, Lunar Mansion number 3 is used in an early scene in the film showing actress Angelica Houston portraying the character Morticia Addams lying in her bed with her arm lifted up over her head, as is traditional for this mansion. Now, actor Raul Julia, depicting Morticia's husband character Gomez Addams, comes into the bedroom and uses a sword to gallantly close the blinds to stop the sun from streaming in and disturbing both Morticia and her plant that is on the bedside table. The plant was covering its eyes and couldn't handle the sun, and neither could Morticia. Now, both Morticia and her plant, they're extremely sensitive to sunlight. In this scene, it becomes evident that both the affluence and the joy provided by Mansion of the Moon number 3 are an intricate portion, this loving and wonderfully eccentric family. So this is an integral part, an intricate portion of this family. The Addams family, they may be sort of eccentric, and it's like dark comedy, but they're a very loving family. You can tell they care about each other very much. So it's very endearing and heartwarming. Moving on to October 11th, we have a Taurus waning gibbous moon in lunar mansion number 4 at 12:44 hours. Beneficial to find safety in reinforcing your structures. Beware competitors seeking revenge, separation, hatred, and malice. Dreadful for married people and relationships in general. Reptiles will run away. Beware an image of a soldier riding upon a horse, brandishing a snake in his right hand. For this picture or icon causes the one projecting and doing or performing this kind of magic, the one projecting it at you. It causes this person to be able to obtain revenge. So the one projecting the magic of the horse with the rider holding the snake, it causes the one doing the magic to be able to attain or obtain revenge, or to cause others to seek revenge, or to break up marriages or relationships, to generate enmity, to create spitefulness, okay? Now, again, from we want you to know that this is, they use them in the tarot cards, but we're going to use another representation for you today. Now, again, the best thing to do is to stay out of trouble. The best way to stay out of trouble during lunar mansion number 4 is to work on strengthening your constructs and edifices, rather than going up and getting into altercations with people. You might want to, but you shouldn't. You should focus on strengthening what you have. Okay? Now, during a waning moon, you're more likely to have someone come at you, okay, rather than you being the one that goes at them. This is from the head of Taurus and the constellation of Taurus the Bull with lunar angel Azariel and Lord Asurez. Now, an example of the use of lunar mansion number 4 is Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope. It's a 1977 action-adventure science fiction fantasy movie that we all know and love, okay? And it's written and directed, of course, by George Lucas. It utilizes lunar mansion number 4 in an early scene of the film showing actress Carrie Fisher portraying character Princess Leia Organa being interrogated by character Sith Lord Darth Vader, depicted by actor David Prowse, with Vader's voice by another actor we all know and love, James Earl Jones, with the wonderful booming voice of Darth Vader. But the guy playing him in the suit was David Prowse in this first movie, yeah? Now, Darth Vader is interrogating the rebel Princess Leia to find the locality of the insurgents' headquarters, of which she is a part. In an attempt to get her to talk, a droid is brought into the interrogation room, which is the horse and the rider of this mansion's icon, okay, holding a syringe, which is the snake in the rider's hand, containing a medication about to be injected into Leia so that she will disclose the information Vader needs to destroy the revolutionary cause of the rebels that he wishes to thwart. Additionally, Princess Leia's planet of origin is named Alderaan, which is very similar to the pointer star of lunar mansion number 4 being Aldebaran, and the traditional name of this mansion, which is Aldebaran, meaning the follower, according to Warnock. Warnock's The Mansions of the Moon book, okay? Christopher Warnock. Now keep in mind that Princess Leia follows character Han Solo, portrayed by Harrison Ford, around throughout this swashbuckling film. So she is indeed a follower. October 12th, Taurus waning gibbous moon to Gemini moon in lunar mansion number 5 at 12:46 hours, valuable for gaining good health and the favor of kings and his court, and to become influential, as well as to receive all good things for which you ask. Acquire high esteem for your good marriage by generating icons of these good affairs and project them into your universe. Beware rendering showing the devastation of casual lovers. Okay? For this rendering will devastate your careless relationships. The traditional picture for this mansion is an icon of a man's head used to gain the help and the esteem of sovereigns, monarchs, and constables, as well as to gain access to theaters, plays, and concerts from the white spot in the stars that span from the end of the constellation of Taurus the Bull to the beginning of Gemini the Twins with lunar angel Gabriel and Lord Kabil. Now, Catholics use the cloth of Saint Veronica artwork, or card, or artwork, or picture, or sculpture, which specifically fits the proper representation to bring to the supplicant for all of the health, influence, and prosperity of the mansion of the moon, number 5. So if you want to really have something that will for sure work, it's the Catholic icon of the cloth of Saint Veronica, the one where she wipes Jesus's face while he's carrying his cross, and she wipes his face when there's all the blood and sweat on it and the dirt from his face and the oil, and it becomes like an icon. Yeah? And using that rendering, all good things come to you. Okay? I've seen this work amazingly. October 13th, we have Gemini waning gibbous moon in lunar mansion number 6 at 13:23 hours. Profitable for successful hunting as well as conquest of towns and villages. Doctors are stopped from applying their trade during this mansion. Beware sons of sovereigns seeking vengeance and those that desire to destroy your harvests and businesses, and watch out for love-hate relationships, all right? Now use the icon of two people embracing each other ventrally to guarantee love between these two that you choose, any that you choose. This is where the matchmaker does her matchmaking. From the little star of great light in the constellation of Gemini the twins with lunar angel Darachiel and Lord Nede Yurahe. Okay? And in the movie Fiddler on the Roof, starring Topol Null, there is a song Matchmaker, Matchmaker, and you can see that that is using this mansion indeed. Now, October 14th, Gemini waning gibbous moon in lunar mansion number 7 at 14:33 hours. It brings loyalty and trust betwixt associates and partners. Beware the annihilation of legal systems and justice, okay? It gets rid of the Lord of the Flies and his minions. Use an icon of a man or woman lifting their hands, lifting their hands, okay? A man or woman lifting the hands up to heaven, requesting help from heaven, okay? And gazing up at heaven. Okay? To gain plenty of superior, high-quality goods and services, relationships, and properties. From the arm of Gemini in the constellation of Gemini the twins with lunar angel Sakeliel and Lord Ciele or Selehe. Now, so when people do this, they're not going to receive anything. They're going to be giving. Remember when you played button, you just got the button when you were a little kid? The person had the button, they cleaved the palm and put the button into the palms of your hands if you open the hand, right? So the one giving does this. The one receiving does this. Okay? So if you want to receive, do this. And during a waning moon, that would be very beneficial. If you want to give, do this. And that's best during a waxing moon. But right now, and during this week, it's a waning moon. So do this. And receive what you want. Okay? Make sure you receive all good things that you want and be certain of what you actually want. Okay? Moving right along to October 15th, we have a waning gibbous moon. This is in the sign of Cancer the Crab in lunar mansion number 8 at 16:10 hours. It's favorable to find love amongst traveling companions. Beware pictures of cruel detention centers mistreating their detainees, for this image will bring these things to pass. Vermin and mammalian pests are chased away during this mansion. Beware images of specific types of timid or poor people being driven from their homes as if they are parasites, for such representations will cause this to happen. Okay, use an icon of an eagle sporting a strong face of a human, for this rendering will give you great conquest in warfare. From Misty in the constellation of Cancer the Crab with lunar angel Amnediel and Lord Anekdx. I was requesting some people to be my friend on Facebook the other day, and one of them was a guy. He was standing outside doing this, and it was a lovely picture from a side view. And I asked him to be my friend. And I, at first, you know, even though I know all this, it didn't dawn on me the moment I did it. And then after I realized it, I said, oh, I see it works. It really does work. And then another girl had a picture of a bird with a human face, and I clicked on that one. When I clicked on it, I realized, but still, it does work. It does work. These lunar mansions do work. So utilize them to your advantage. I would like, the reason I make these videos and write my blog is so that people can learn to benefit, as I have and my family has benefited from understanding the way these lunar mansions work. Now, regarding this mansion number 8, okay? Remember, it's about people being driven from their homes, and also about vermin and mammalian pests being chased away. Now, this is all depicted, okay, in Alfred Hitchcock's 1963 movie The Birds. Uses Lunar Mansion number 8, in that the plot has several varieties of feral birds suddenly begin to attack humans by pecking at them until they are dead, okay? It's dreadful. It's a great movie though. And even pluck out a man's eyes in one scene. So it's very, very graphic. In those days, although they didn't show things as graphically as they do now, Alfred Hitchcock was a master at a psychological thriller, okay? So they use this, they psychologically draw you in, okay? This is a great film, one of my favorites. I like so many of Hitchcock's films, okay? Now the characters in The Bird spend most of this movie running away from and chasing away these attacking birds from the homes and schools of their town. Now, spoiler alert, in some scenes of this movie, people are driven out of their homes by hordes of vicious birds. Okay, we're going to move now to October 16th. October 16th. We have a Cancer waning gibbous moon in Lunar Mansion number 9. At 1804 hours, men argue and fight with each other during this mansion, and these stars thwart production yields as well as journeys. Unfamiliar men upset and dishearten women when Luna activates this mansion, and therefore women should guard themselves against strange men during this mansion on the 16th. So ladies, understand this. Protect yourself against men that you don't know. Now, beware the image of a eunuch covering his eyes with his hands, for it causes infirmities, okay? From stars that reside in a glance of the lion's eye in the sign of Cancer the crab with lunar angel Barbiel and Lord Rabel. An example of this is in the movie She-Devil, a 1989 comedy. It's a great comedy directed by Suzanne Siedelman and written by Faye Weldon, authoress of the book The Life and Loves of a She-Devil, with screenplay by Barry Strugatz and Mark R. Burns. Uses Lunar Mansion number 9. In this particular scene, actor Ed Begley Jr., depicting the character Bob, the husband of character Ruth, portrayed by actress Roseanne Barr, holds his hands over his face, covering his eyes, okay? He's in his car when he does this, okay? He's like, he's just had it with all these women. He's just, you know, he's torn between these two women. So Bob does this in the storyline because he is romantically torn between and psychologically emasculated by both his wife and the character Mary Fisher, depicted by actress Meryl Streep. Indeed, women are disheartened in this movie. They are. As well as this mansion's lunar angel Barbiel showing up in the character of Mary Fisher, that is the image of a perfect Barbie doll. All right, so we're going to get now to the important resources, the books that you should have if you want to practice or know about or do videos about or study about or do rituals about Lunar Mansion magic. So the first book you have to have is Pick a Tricks, and it's attributed to an ancient scientist and astronomer, Maslama al-Madriti. And a second book is 3 Books of Occult Philosophy by Henry Cornelius Agrippa. And I have the one that's published by Llewellyn, okay? And the third book, the book I use every day, it's a must-have book, The Mansions of the Moon, A Lunar Zodiac for Astrology and Magic by Christopher Warnock. It's published by Renaissance Astrology. And now the 2 other books that I recommend, the Pick a Tricks I've been using, there's a free PDF online. I still want to buy it. Maybe I can get it for Christmas if I put it on Santa's list, yeah? And also, another one I want to get is I have the 3 Books of Occult Philosophy. I have that one. But another one I want to get is the Fixed Stars and Constellation in Astrology. Okay? Because that one, it's by Vivian E. Robson. That one's online too, and I use that online. But I want to get the hard copy because I love my books. I have a great library, and I love my book collection. So thanks for joining us. And join us again next week.